Today, we will be answering this particular question that the opposition parties in Cameroon has failed and the government also has failed. What then should Cameroonians do in order to survive, in order to save their country? Cameroonians are so desperate, and Cameroonians are receiving a lot of insults from outsiders concerning their own country. That if somebody decided to be in power for 42 years and the person is 92 years old, why are you people still leaving him there? Many people say that Cameroonians are not prepared to deliver themselves from the hands of the CPDM. Many of us who are out of the country are receiving this particular insult every blessed day whenever you talk about your home country. They say you people do not have heart. You people are not courageous enough. And during my conversation with Dr. Nick Ngwanya concerning my anger and my disappointment in him, he opened up to me and said he decided to support the candidacy of President Paul Biya under a new government because the opposition parties has failed. So he explained to me detailedly, and then I reasoned with him. And then I asked myself a lot of questions. Is there any political party or opposition party presently in Cameroon that is prepared, that can deliver Cameroonians? I started from the most popular one, that is the party of Maurice Kanto's, MRC. And then I asked myself, is Maurice Kanto ready to deliver Cameroonians? When you look at him and you discover that he is filled with desperation to take over, his main purpose is to take over, to be the president of Cameroon and nothing else. It's just to be the president of Cameroon and revenge. I don't know what the government of President Paul Biya did to him. He resigned. You remember, he was the deputy minister of justice, but resigned. Maybe something happened within there that he resigned, and he is struggling by all possible means to take over power. And from his own conversation and his own vision that he explained verbally on social media, that came to discover that if he is the president, if it happens that Maurice Kanto is the president today, he will spend at least 2 or 3 years, or even the 7 years in power, just struggling to destroy the CPDM, or to destroy those who maybe have been doing terrible things against Cameroonians. And then I returned back to the next political party, the Social Democratic Front, where Osei Joshua is there, a presidential candidate and the chairperson of that party. And then I asked myself, is this party capable to deliver Cameroonians? There is still another problem there in this party. This party was so vibrant in 1990s. But what happened then? I make a video. It's seen, and I told you, I told many people that the day Ni John Frondi, of blessed memory, he visited President Paul Biya physically. That was the day the Social Democratic Front stopped existing as a political party. And up to now, if you look at Osei Joshua, there is no difference between him and the CPDM. And then I still doubt whether he can deliver Cameroonians. And then when you look through all opposition parties, because there are 368 opposition parties in Cameroon, 368 opposition parties in Cameroon. And the day the 2018 presidential election ended, all the opposition parties disappeared, all of them. We did not hear from that day. We have not heard of. The only person we were hearing was Maurice Kanto, who was moving from one country to another, telling the people that he is president-elect. And throughout that 2019, I am president-elect, 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 and then suddenly disappeared. We did not hear about him again. We hear about him again. He suffers again only in 2024. All of them, because election is approaching. They want money from the government. And this is the main problem. When Dr. Nick Ngwanya asked me this particular question, whether is there any opposition parties in Cameroon that genuinely I can point that this one would deliver Cameroonians, will be different from the CPDM, I was unable to give him a direct answer because I say I'm going to look into. So opposition parties are not prepared to take over power. And then discussing with another person today, he told me that if you look into Cameroon, you would discover that the opposition parties in Cameroon, the 368 opposition parties in Cameroon, are not prepared. He asked me that go to your village or to these remote villages in Cameroon. Wherever you will go in Cameroon, you will see CPDM there. They are everywhere in Cameroon, all over the national territory. But opposition parties remain within the city. And in most of our cities today in Cameroon are filled with notorious criminals. People who do not even have a national identity card. People who are not even willing to register for election. And President Paul Biya and the CPDM, they are in all villages. And that is an open check for them to do whatever they wish, any kind of electoral fraud. They can park identity card and go there. They are the one controlling election. They are the one controlling this. If the call result from a village that your own political party has never been there, for example, the Social Democratic Front maybe has never been in one particular village, and then the government will call a very high number of people who registered in that village. Can you argue it? You have never been there. That is one of the issue in Cameroon. So the opposition parties are not prepared. The only thing they are doing is they are fighting electoral code, electoral code, electoral code, in which the electoral code for all this year, they are unable to change it. Instead for them to draw strategy, now what can we do in order to remove the CPDM from power? The population are looking up to us. And that is nothing. What can we do to remove the CPDM? We cannot change the electoral code under a different government. They will not allow us. So what can we do to deliver Cameroonians is what all these opposition parties should be thinking about. But all they are thinking of is about themselves to enter the presidency. That is the main objective. After my discussion with Dr. Ngwanya, I studied and discovered that most of them are focused on the presidency, not to deliver the people of Cameroon. And I discussed with many people and then presenting my own vision to them. And many are even hoping that if I was in Cameroon, there could have been a better candidate, because I am presenting a better Cameroon to Cameroonians, where we will have two state federations, equal state federation, as it was in 1961, and then with two different educational systems, where Francophones will have their own Minister of Education based in Francophone regions, and Anglophone has their own Minister of Education based in Anglophone regions, and then Minister of Justice based in two different ministries of justice. And then we have to elect our own governors. From any of officials we have to elect, and every decision taken, any policy has to be presented first to the population, and the population will support it, send it to the Federal Assembly, and the Federal Assembly will look into it. And then when the Federal Assembly will take the decision on whatsoever decision taken or policy or laws or any bills, they have to send it to the Senate, which will be one. There will not be any central assembly, national assembly. It will only be Senate. When it arrives the Senate, then the Senate will look through it, and then they will present it. The president will present it now to the population for voting. The population will confirm that this is what we gave as a policy regarding this particular issue and everything. So opposition parties, they are the problem. They are the main people keeping President Paul Biya in power. Because President Paul Biya studied them and understood them 100%. And that is why President Paul Biya is manipulating them, dancing and playing with them. Because if you look somebody like Maurice Kanto, he is an international lawyer, well respected all over the world. But returning to politics, he does not. I say it again. He does not. I contacted the Secretary General. I am struggling to get to him, to talk to him directly, because in 2018, after presidential election, he was supposed to understood the government of President Paul Biya, in which he once worked with them as a Deputy Minister of Justice. knowing willfully that these people, they have corrupted corruption. And for you to work with them, you need to reason above them. Maybe give them at least 10 steps behind, and you have to be ahead of them. Maurice Kanto did not take this into consideration. He asked the militant not to run for parliamentary election, not to run for a council election, that they must change the electoral code. Under which President Paul Biya, he did not reason this. And then, foolishly, all the militant respected, and they did not go in for. President Paul Biya took that as an opportunity to frustrate Maurice Kanto in 2025. And presently, Maurice Kanto does not know where to go. He does not have any political party to run under, because Atanganji is not sleeping. He is monitoring all opposition parties. Anyone that is trying to collaborate with Maurice Kanto to hand over their party for Maurice Kanto to run under it, they will ban the opposition party. And that is what the government is doing. They postpone the parliamentary election and the council election to 2026. Before that, a presidential election will come before that, just to frustrate Maurice Kanto. In which Maurice Kanto, as an international lawyer or somebody who has once worked with the government, was supposed to understood that if you make any mistake, the government will take advantage of it. This particular government, he did not take it into consideration. After that, he went and discovered that, okay, his plan has been frustrated. His party cannot run for the upcoming presidential election according to the electoral code. Instead for him to be working behind with Jean-Michel Ninche so that they can form coalition, he went openly, very early. I consider it very early, and said they have formed coalition. And immediately they say it, in which the party of Jean-Michel Ninche was still in the process, was still on the table of Mr. Atanganji for approval. And Mr. Atanganji heard this one and banned the party of Jean-Michel Ninche. Now that he is planning with another party called a Front for Change of Cameroon, whether it's whatsoever party in Cameroon, that is FCC. It's already a rumor reached Atanganji is already saying the party is not registered. So the government is putting everything possible to push him out. And if Maurice Kanto is out, I don't believe there is any other one that can challenge President Paul Biya. The Social Democratic Front disappeared in 2010 when Nijon Frundi visited President Paul Biya. And then I say it clear during that period that there is no way you can meet President Paul Biya physically and remain the same. I don't know what the man is holding. The day, that 2010, that Nijon Frundi met with him physically in Bamenda, Social Democratic Front is Qatar, and became part or department of CBDN, as I can put it. And that is another issue. There I see Kabera Libi came out and said he cannot have any coalition with anybody that have once worked with the government. He was directly talking to Maurice Kanto. But the government understood that they are working behind. They just want to play the brain of the government. And that is why you see Kabera Libi, a government, Atanganji already sent a statement. That is why Kabera Libi was live, saying that they are struggling to push him out of the game. His party is divided into two. The original founder of that party, of his party, is different person, in which Atanganji is in support of the party. Why Kabera Libi won the case at the court, that he is the genuine founder of the party. But the final agreement is Atanganji that's supposed to sign it. Robert Kuna is the original founder and the chairperson of that party. But Kabera Libi won a case in court when they were having a fight. So the party is divided into two. And Atanganji might not sign Kabera Libi as under that particular party. He may force Kabera Libi to go to under Robert Kona, and if Kabera Libi goes under Robert Kona, he might not have the opportunity to run as a presidential candidate. And this is something the government is working. And Maurice Kanto quickly again came out and warned Atanganji that he should stop manipulating or intimidating Kabera Libi, showing that they are having discussion behind. And the government, I say the government of President Paul Biya is not sleeping. regarding this presidential election. President Paul Biya might not stand as a candidate, but another CPDM will stand. The whole problem we are looking forward to in Cameroon is for the CPDM to be dissolved. With the CPDM, the system they have planted already in Cameroon, it will be very difficult, whether whosoever it take over. That is what I was telling Dr. Ningwaya, that he is talking about progressive CPDM. What is the difference between progressive CPDM? He is talking about progressive CPDM is genuine people, trustworthy Cameroonians that will stand. But to him, as I posted, I posted a conversation between me and Dr. Ningwaya yesterday, where he explained the reason that it is very difficult, that he is a CPDM militant, that it is very, very difficult to remove President Paul Biya from power. Very, very difficult. There is no way. He can only go by his own will. And he asked me one question: if I have any strategy that I can propose for President Paul Biya to be removed, and say you are not going to stand, that he is backed up by the Constitution, by the Electoral Code. The Constitution gave him the power to stand as a presidential candidate for as long as he wished to. And the Electoral Code also, and the CPDM, the majority. So if you do not support President Paul Biya and support another person else, where will you and how can you remove the CPDM? So he proposed that he is coming up with a progressive CPDM. Some of them are coming up with a progressive CPDM so that President Paul Biya will just be a figurehead. I do not still support it 100% because I don't want anything to do with President Paul Biya and the CPDM. But I'm just explaining that these are the disappointments that Cameroonians are having. If there was a genuine opposition party in Cameroon, it could have been very easy to remove President Paul Biya. President Paul Biya and the CPDM, they are all over. I presented a video talking about the strategy of the CPDM. The CPDM, check in your own locality, in your own village. Any influential person in your village is a member of the CPDM. It is not by choice, it is by force. Because if they ask you, you are a rich person, you are very influential, you are an elite, or a politician, or a traditional ruler, they ask you, join CPDM, and you refuse. If you are doing business, that business will go bankrupt within days. The only thing for you to survive with the business is to join the CPDM. And all these people that President Paul Biya has selected, the CPDM has selected from our families, they are the one blackmailing us. Because an uncle who is paying your school fees or paying your children's school fees will come back and say, all this money and all what I'm having is coming from the government. So if you people vote again, they will increase my rank or promote me. And then I will help you people because they already kept us in poverty. And all of us depend on them. And that is the strategy by the government. So President Paul Biya is blackmailing nearly all those closer to him. And those closer to him, they are blackmailing us. And there is nothing we can do about it. So if there was a genuine opposition party to understood the strategy of the CPDM and struggle by all possible means to target the root causes of all this, it could have been better. But all of them remained in the city. When they gather in Douala and thousands of people gather before them, they are taking their pictures and thinking that is Cameroonian. Those are not Cameroonian. Maybe 2 million or 3 million people gather around you. We are 30 million. There are 30 million Cameroonians. Many in village. The CPDM they are the one producing the national identity card. They produce national identity cards that are not in existence. And then they send it to the villages that you have never gone there as an opposition party. And then during election, they vote there with those national identity cards. You don't know. You cannot argue it. You have never been in that village. There are villages. In 2017, I went to one village in after Kribi. Only pygmies in the forest. There were a CPDM poster there were all over. There was no more than after Kribi. There was around 6 different villages with no other poster except the CPDM. And then you say you can defeat the CPDM. I said there is no political party ready in Cameroon. If there is one, First thing in Cameroon is that the government of President Paul Biya always forced Cameroonians so that they will be angry. They will always provoke Cameroonians because the government is very good as violence is concerned. When you are coming to them, but they will handle you very well. But if you come with them with dialogue, it's something that needs knowledge and brain. The government will always withdraw from it because they don't have the brain, but they are using force. And anybody coming with force, they will embrace it. If you want to see, as they are forcing them to dialogue with the Amazonia, they are running away because they know that they have nothing here. But if it is force, they can do it. Another thing the government of Cameroon does not want to maybe play with it is international community. If Maurice Kanto and other opposition parties were genuine and wanted to liberate Cameroonians, they could have been working hands in hands with other non-governmental organizations, international community, creating connection with other nations and other powerful opposition parties that they are seeing into it that they can take power in their own country. And if they have connection with this such kind of people, these people can influence them, can influence the politics in Cameroon. But all they are doing, they remain within Cameroon. And they are moving from one city to another. I asked many opposition parties recently that how many, for 8 years today that the Anglophone crisis is on, how many people of them have gone to any region or any place inside Cameroon to sympathize with the people? Not just one. I ask again, how many of these opposition parties has ever presented a concrete solution or a proposal on a table that this is how we want to solve this problem? How many? How many have visited the Amazonia to talk with them and say, I want to start talking with you so that when I will take over power as president, we will continue talking in order to settle this issue? How many? No one. The only person who even approached an Amazonia were very happy to come closer to was Maurice Kanto in United States of America in 2019. And when he went there, the Amazonia came. He said, no, I cannot receive you people with this uniform. I cannot receive you people holding your own flag. You must change and hold the Cameroon flag. And that was a provocation to Amazonia. And many of them said no to. Those are things that if you do not, because they are still linked onto the government, they don't want to. Because if you do anything, the government would not give you any subsidy for your party. And that is what they are fighting for. And they are doing everything slowly, not to provoke the government so that they will have whatsoever they will have for their pocket. And this is a problem in Cameroon. I am pleading that if truly you are an opposition party in Cameroon and you search your conscience and your constitution and discover that you cannot liberate Cameroonians, you better withdraw being a opposition parties. You withdraw. I ask many opposition parties that truly an opposition party in any country, you are complaining about electoral code. Ask Maurice Kanto, ask Osi Joshua, ask Kabara Dibi, ask Akeremona, ask all of them. If there is any one of them having a written and a concrete proposal for a new electoral code, nobody is having one. They are complaining about the constitution of Cameroon. Ask them whether anybody have drafted a new constitution for Cameroon. They are waiting for that time to come. So that when they will take over power, that is when they will be drawing, spending time to do things that they were supposed to do. Ask them how many of their party's constitution reflects the country they want to. All their party's constitution, the chairperson of that party is a permanent and natural candidate, a chairperson, never to be changed. But they are promising Cameroonians that when they will take over power, they will change the constitution. They will change a term of office. They will do this, they will do that. These are questions I keep on asking them. You cannot take over power in a country when you are not prepared. This is the very thing that happened to William Ruto in Kenya. He took over power, everybody clapping all over the world that he is the most intelligent, educated president in Africa. Where is the education? Without vision, your education means nothing. And because he took over with that vision in Kenya, he was confused and did not know what to do. The same with this guy in Nigeria, Tinubu, without any vision. The same with President Pobia for 42 years today. He has never had a vision for Cameroon. He governed Cameroon just normally. He got up in the morning, anything that comes in his brain, he just put it into practice. If it comes in the brain that, okay, I'm angry with Cameroonians, send military. You just send the military, they'll go do whatever they will do and return back home. Go and arrest them, they'll go. You just ask the Minister of Finance, is money correct? Have we collected the money we voted for this year? The minister said no. He said, okay, send police outside. Any Cameroonian without national identity card or at price of this, they do it because they do not have a vision. You cannot tell me that somebody will be in power for 42 years and have never accomplished anything. And that is exactly the question I said, and the Equinox TV refused that President Pobia acquire or achieve something. And then I explained to them, he has not achieved or accomplish anything in Cameroon. Because when we talk about accomplishment, we are talking about starting and finishing. For 42 years, President Pobia could have been celebrating that I achieved this, I acquired this, that I have given electricity to all Cameroonians. And all Cameroonians, no matter where you are able to put light, put switch and see light, put this, no. Or he, for 42 years, he successfully extended drinkable water to all Cameroonians. If this was just one thing President Pobia maybe did, I could have been celebrating him. But he has not done it. In big cities like Douala, Yaoundé, Buya, not to talk of villages, they do not have drinkable water. Look at our road network. And no opposition parties is having a genuine vision on how to. They are just saying, when we will take over power, we will liberate this, we will do this, we will do that. Where is it? If you do not do it, are we going to refuse? President Pobia told us that in 2035, Cameroon will be an emerging country. 2035 is how many years to come? I told you people in the first video that I presented on this platform that if in 2035 Cameroon is as it is today, and President Pobia said we have accomplished or achieved emergence, will you refuse? Nobody will refuse because you did not see the plan. You did not see the agenda. You did not even see the picture of the kind of emergent economy he was talking about. Maybe he was talking about what we are seeing today. And they see it and they're celebrating that they have achieved it. So we need to reason. I look into it and I keep on holding on to this. That if there is a way we can organize a civilian coup d'etat in Cameroon, it will be better. I'm saying I personally, I am more better than many opposition parties in Cameroon because I have written my vision for Cameroon. If I take over today, I have written proposal concerning all the problem plaguing Cameroon. I'm talking with Ambazonia, many of them, leaders, directly asking them questions, asking them about their strategy. I'm already working with the Constitution of Cameroon, drafting the Constitution I wish, and I have written a book, Positive Mentality for the Cameroon we want. I am presently working with the electoral court, working with many people in Cameroon, opposition party leaders, asking them questions, religious leaders, just as I wrote in 2018, calling for a neutral body. There are people in Cameroon that can propose solution to the problem and create solution to problems plaguing Cameroon, and Cameroon will be one, maybe the first African country to develop. It will be very easy if all the strategies are put together. Nobody should be left outside. Nobody should be considered a criminal as a Cameroonian. When it comes to be it an Amazonia, they are fighting for a better Cameroon. Be it those of Federation, they are fighting for a better Cameroon. Be it whosoever, all Cameroonians desperate to see a better Cameroon. But the CPTN, who on to? And then they decided to use some of the CPTN to create useless political parties all over Cameroon. And we are talking about 368 opposition parties in Cameroon. And only 18 are eligible to run for the presidential election come 2025. And out of the 18, maybe it will not even be up to the 18. The main popular political parties, opposition parties in Cameroon of Maurice Kamto is not among the 18. They are struggling by all possible means to remove him. We need to change our mentality positively. You cannot take over power with that vision. I told Cameroonians that we have tried the most educated people in leadership. They fail us. We push the rich people. They fail us. The most influential people, they failed. It is time for us to try the common people. And it will be very easy. Because I discussed with some people and they told me that you can never have the 30 million that Elekam is asking. It is very easy to have the 30 million. Cameroonians of voting age, there are more than 50 million of them. If you say each person will contribute only 100 francs, if we are 1 million of us, it will come out to be 100 million. And out of this 100 million, we'll remove 30 million and pay to Elekam to run as an independent candidate. And when you give the 30 million, you are left with 70 million. You say, okay, with this 70 million, we are going to do everything possible to reach any little corner of Cameroon. And other people will join us, and money will come in. And the whole issue is based on transparency. That out of 100 million contributed by 1 million Cameroonians, giving 100 francs, you are going to give the detail of the expenditure. And this is the country we are hoping for. I quote example of Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. He is not the most educated. He is not even that educated that much. But because he is having a vision, the country is progressing. He is different from nearly all the other three military leaders. He is quite different because he is having a vision. And he is the one leading the other three. They are looking at him. He took over. They planned a coup. And then the person who took over did not fulfill. He was not seeing that vision. And that is why he dethroned the person and take over. Because he was having a written vision. And we say the time is coming for Cameroonians to be liberated. And we will do it one day. If we failed, in which I am still hoping for 2025, 2032 will not pass us by. We are going to run for the presidency. And I keep on. I wrote to many opposition parties in Cameroon, including the MRC of Maurice Kanto, telling them that they should write their vision, print their vision, and distribute their vision to all Cameroonians so that they will use it as a report card when they will be in office. And that is my vision. That the day I will decide that I want to run for the presidency, I'm going to distribute my vision to all Cameroonians. This is the Cameroon we want. And you have to be marking it. We have to be marking it. This one we achieve this one. This one we achieve this one. This one we achieve this one. Nobody. It will be the government for the people, by the people. And nobody will be left out. And this is what we are praying. And this is exactly my vision for any opposition parties in Cameroon. If they take it, just as when I wrote the letter in 2018 calling for a neutral body, and then one of the person I gave, late Cardinal Tumi, came up with all Anglophone General Conference, which was already in existence. And then I looked into it, and it was similar to my own proposal. I said, this is an opportunity. I abandoned mine, and I was behind him. So it is the same that today, if I am sharing my vision with many political parties, if anyone decided that I'm going to go with this vision, I am going behind him. It is not compulsory that you must. That is what one philosopher said, that you must not wait for your own party to be in power before you use what can better your country. And that is the same with me. If any political party buy my vision, I am supporting the opposition parties. And we will go and we will liberate Cameroonians. This is all. And this is the way out. We should stop pretending. It should not be all about the presidency. It should not be all about the presidency. If these opposition parties, they were genuine and sincere, they could have removed President Pobia through coalition. 2020, 2021, there was a coalition in Cameroon Maurice Kanto was there, Osi Joshua was there, many of Kabara Libi was there, many of these positions, there were more than 20 of them. They gathered together that they want to form a coalition. But when they were there, this one said, I will be the president. This one said, I will be the president. They started fighting among themselves and they dissolved. Because it is all about them. It's not all about Cameroonians. I'm thanking you for following. But we have to start now. And that is why I am pleading with you that a day is coming that we have to create our own platform. Start building ourselves. Looking who is a leader amongst us. And then elect that person. And look through the vision I have written. And give the vision to the person. And say, let go. And we will go. And we will take that power. So, we have to do it. And we have to do it now. Thank you for staying up to this point. We'll meet again. Anytime. We will come live. But every day, we struggle by all possible means to drop a video. Just to propose solution to the problem plaguing our country, Cameroon. And God will help us one day. Thank you for staying up to this point.